Hi, Hannah. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. Thank you for sending me your speaking practice test. I think you're doing my free TOEFL speaking practice test evaluation, right? Now, you can only do this once. You can only complete the practice test one time, and I'm getting ready to listen to it here in just a minute. Okay, so I have the actual rubrics right here. And here's a question that you're answering right now. Many people think that students study course materials more effectively by taking exams, while others think that students learn more effectively through doing other activities like completing projects. Which one do you think is more effective? You need to put a period right there to avoid that comma splice, right? And then I think that gets it right there. Okay, so what do you like? Taking exams or doing projects? Okay, here we go.
I think that students study course materials more effectively by taking exams than doing other activities. The reason is that exams usually worth more points than other activities, so that students will work harder in order to earn the points. This also applies to me, so I usually study the day before the exam and I go over each chapter, but projects, I concentrate on finishing it up so it's getting off the topic. Therefore, taking exams is more effective than doing other activities like projects.
Okay, good. So the rubrics, I'm going to put you a minimum right now of 3. I like your accent. You speak very naturally, very quickly. It is very easy to understand what you're saying. I do think you have some minor grammar and vocabulary limitations. I think it's holding you from being able to fully express your ideas. So I think that's a weakness. Topic development, you probably need to elaborate more on some of your details. On you bring up some ideas, you need to give more specific examples for those points. Okay, so your score here 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. Let's listen to it one more time.
I think that students
I would just say students, not I think that.
study course materials more effectively by taking exams than doing other activities. The reason is that exams usually worth more points than other
Yeah, exams are usually worth more points than other.
activities, so that students will work harder in order to earn the points. This also applies to me, so I usually study the day before the exam and I go over each chapter, but projects, I concentrate on finishing it up so it's getting off the topic.
Yeah, I don't get that. What are you trying to say there? Right? So you to prepare for the exam, you study the day before the test, but to me that's not a good argument because how much could you possibly learn in one day? Right? But then you talk about doing projects and going off topic. But you don't support that. If you say, well, for example, I was working on a project with a group of students in my biology class 2 semesters ago, and when we started on the project, instead of focusing on cell division, we were talking about what movies we saw that last weekend. So I don't see any elaboration on what you're saying, and the elaboration is important because it clarifies the ideas you're trying to say. So I don't fully get what you're trying to say there.
Therefore, taking exams is more effective than doing other activities like projects.
Okay, I like the word therefore. I like how you restate your points at the end in your conclusion, but I don't like the lack of elaboration. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm going to keep you in that 3 area. It says here, when you look at what it says in the 3, overall development is somewhat limited, usually lacks elaboration or specificity. Relationship between ideas may not be immediately clear. Yes, that's another reason. So I think you are limited a little bit with your vocabulary and your grammar, and then you're not elaborating on some of those ideas. So even though your speech is very clear, highly intelligible, really, it's really good, but you're still having some trouble with your language use and your topic development. So your score here, I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, around 23 points out of 30. You have joined, you're one of the, most students fall into this category, especially because of one reason: the lack of elaboration. That's the one thing that really holds a lot of students back, and not being able to elaborate is sometimes connected to your language use, vocabulary. Because the more specific vocabulary you have, the easier it will be for you to elaborate on the ideas that you explain. All right, thank you for doing this practice test.